What's up, everybody? I'm Simon Sabro, and today we got for y'all my June manga reading log. So before we get into that, be sure to follow me on Instagram at Simon Sabro YT. Link for that will always be down in the description. Also, be sure to leave a like, subscribe, hit that bell so you never miss an upload, all of that good stuff. Also, make sure you comment down anything you've been reading as of recently. How do you feel about the stuff I read? Anything you'd recommend to me? Anything like that whatsoever. But with all that out the way, let's just jump right into it. All right, so I actually don't have anything like special that I want to say before getting into the actual like list of things I read, but I do hope you all are doing amazing as of recently. It is the start of the month, so be sure to start your month off well and just have a good time, enjoy yourself, and just look towards the future with your head held high. Honestly, that's all I got to say. We are going to start out with the member recommendations and just kind of my thoughts on those first. So also, just as a heads up, for one, thank you to our newest channel member. I think it was Ghoul. I kind of briefly looked at it. Sadly, YouTube doesn't like notify me when I get a new channel member. So thank you so much for joining. I greatly appreciate it. And I will shout out my channel members once again at the end. But like I said, let's start out with the member recommendations. The first one we have is from Lance, and that is Orange, the Complete Edition Volume 1. So this one, okay, just as a little like heads up, Lance has been telling me about this like for as long as I can remember, honestly, like literally as long as I can remember. Unfortunately, I will say one thing really quickly though. I did not like the, I guess, like size of the edition, I guess, because just the way like, for one, the way I hold books is really weird. I hold them like this. And so I kind of had to crack the spine a bit. But apart from that, I actually really like this. And I'm excited to get the next volume, as well as the, I think it's like Orange to You, My Dear One, or something like that. And I know there's another one, because on my last video, the haul, you guys like commented a lot about all the different volumes of it and how there's going to be a box set and everything. So honestly, I'm excited to check out the rest of it. So that's like my thoughts on it overall. But to kind of get more in depth, I will say the story of it caught me off guard because I literally did not know anything about it. And for maybe if you're watching this and you also don't know anything about it, it's about our main character named Naho. And she basically starts getting letters from herself 10 years into the future, kind of just telling her like, hey, this is what's gonna happen, here's a heads up, and these are like important events that you should watch out for, and just overall how to make their one friend, what's his name, Kakeru, I think, yeah, Kakeru, how to make him happy in order to prevent events happening in the future. And it starts out really interesting because it's, I don't know how to put it, but it's a very interesting like slice of life story, but with, of course, I guess a little supernatural elements. I wouldn't really like personally consider it supernatural, but Letters from Your Future Self is like, I guess, technically supernatural. But the story and the pacing of it, because it constantly flips between like present day and like 10 years later Naho, and just like how different their lives are. And it kind of goes back and forth on that dynamic, which is really interesting. And it never feels like awkwardly done either. And honestly, the dynamic between the six characters, these three being like the main kind of three, that's Naho, that's Kakeru, and that's Suwa or Soa. I know it started with an S and had a W in it somewhere. I forgot his name. And then these are the other characters on the back. Their names I like completely don't remember, sadly. But honestly, they're a really fun cast of characters. Like I said, overall, really did enjoy this volume. Looking forward to picking up the next one. Probably gonna pick it up in this month's haul, technically. But yeah, that's Orange Volume 1. So moving on to the next member recommendation, we do have Let's Go Karaoke. And this one was recommended by, I believe it was Books and Ray. And so this one, I like when they recommended it to me, they recommended me 3 series total. This one, Mars Red, and I forgot what the last one was. And so I read the like synopsis for this and I was like, oh, this sounds really cool. But when I went to go read it, I kind of like forgot all about it. And so it's honestly really interesting. Like it really surprised me. It is just this single volume. And so it's about this dude, I forgot his name, but this guy here, who's a middle schooler, graduating into high school. I believe that's how it was. And he's part of the choir and he's like really good at singing. And so there's this Yakuza member who kind of recruits him to help the Yakuza member learn how to sing better, because in the Yakuza, they're, I forgot what they call it. They don't call it boss exactly, but their boss is having like this event that they do every, I think it was like 6 months, where all of the members have to sing karaoke. And if you sing poorly, you get a tattoo. And the boss like sucks at giving tattoos. So that's like the main kind of story. But then there's the subplot of the main character, once again, forgot his name, but the middle school dude kind of having to deal with adolescence and just growing up and his voice changing and how that affects his singing and like stuff like that. So it was honestly really interesting, very funny at times, because you kind of just have to read it to understand a lot of the jokes, because I feel like if I explain it, I might not really explain it all too well. But it is very funny, honestly very relaxing too. It was a really nice change of pace compared to like the other stuff I read this month, which you will see as we go down the line. Really did enjoy this one as well. I think it did well as just one volume, and honestly I'd recommend this to kind of anybody. I don't think it touched on any sensitive topics or anything like that. Like I said, it was just really refreshing to read. Like it was just a fun story, and I really did enjoy it. While it did also have like a little bit of like subplot and deeper meaning, and like I said, just the main character growing up and dealing with growing up and how that changes his body and his voice and stuff like that. But this next one, not gonna spend too much time on. I did a whole video about it. I'll link that in the description or put a card up, something like that. And that is Spider-Man Fake Red. I think that's like the 3rd time I'm mentioning it this month. Loved it. Like I said, I'm not gonna spend too much time, or honestly, I'm not gonna spend any time at all on it, because like I said, I do have an entire video talking about it. But if you haven't read it, go read it. It's Spider-Man. It's great. It's amazing. Dang, that was a bad joke. But here's like a little bit of art from it. No spoilers or anything. Just a little bit of art for y'all. Really fun story. Once again, a lot of deeper meanings. It's Spider-Man. Like go read it. Go read it. I know you just watched Across the Spider-Verse. Go ahead and read it. It's great. But on the topic of superheroes, this one I was really anticipating to come out. Didn't finish reading it by the time of this recording. I'm like halfway through, and that is Wolverine Snick by Tsutomu Nihei. Now, if you're like not new to the channel, I do have like a massive problem with Nihei and his work. Sorry for the glare on this spine. I doubt you can see it. But yeah, I have a bit of a problem with Nihei and his works. I've only read Abara and I forgot what the other one I've read was by him, but I honestly just wasn't a fan at all. Like the way he tells stories just isn't my speed. The art's nice though. And like I said, I got about like halfway through. This is where I stopped at part 3. So far, I mean, nothing's really happened. Like the art's cool, but like it's just pure exposition so far. And it is full colored. Honestly, I'm not a fan of it being full colored, because I feel like Nihei's works the best in black and white. And that's just kind of my opinion. Yeah, especially like the backgrounds, I think pop a lot more in black and white. Just the sketchiness of his art just works better in black and white. I don't know, that's just my opinion. But I'm gonna finish it. I'm not really going to talk too much about it because I haven't finished it yet. It might blow me away in the second half. I don't know. But still, on the topic of superheroes, we do have Tokyo Aliens Volume 3. This one, it was fun. I say this about Tokyo Aliens every time. Usually the first couple of chapters are like kind of weak, and then the last couple of chapters are like amazing. That's the pattern it's had for the first 3 volumes. But I think this one was the best volume so far compared to the previous 2. And I do love the character designs and the art. And it's honestly just a really fun and enjoyable story. got its little action. It's nothing too special, nothing, you know, out of the ordinary or anything like that. I know I'm kind of like breezing through these series, but some of them not really too much to say that hasn't already been said. These next few, well, let me hold on now. So this next one we are going to talk about is Peak Friction Sundome Milky Way Volume 6. This is peak friction. I can't even open the book and show y'all this one. Like it's peak, honestly. Let's see. Yeah, first page can't show. Yep. Yep. Dang. Okay. I so yeah, I might be lost. I mean, okay, we found a page. You see how far we had to get for a page here. That's just, you know, presentable. But Sundome Milky Way, honestly, it's something I can't even talk about on here, unfortunately. But it's a lot of fun. It's peak friction. If you into that, then you know. Check it out. It's a fun story, really enjoyable. Also, I should warn, if my eyes are like really low or I'm like blinking hard, I'm like extremely tired. It's like 6 in the morning. But just wanted to record and so I could edit and hopefully be able to get this out on time, because if I'm being honest with you, I'm recording this on like the day I'm supposed to be uploading. I'm really bad at like maintaining my schedules and like managing time and stuff, especially having 2 channels. I'm kind of really bad at this, especially because I edit my own videos, but I'm having fun nonetheless. So the next thing we did read, I did read like all of the volumes, but I didn't feel like taking all of them off the shelf. So we'll just show the 2 last volumes, being 5 and 6 of Pleasure and Corruption. This is honestly, excluding volume 6, like everything before that, I would have told you this is probably one of my favorite series like on my shelf. But after volume 6, dude, I was disgusted. I ain't even gonna lie to y'all. And I've never felt that way like reading a manga. And I'm gonna give a little context. So, spoiler warning, I know volume 6 came out in like February or January, but still spoiler warning in case you're interested. So, first off, volumes 1 through 5 is straight heat. Straight heat, I promise you. But then volume 6 was just disgusting. And if you've been keeping up with like if you've been reading the story on your own, then you're kind of know where I'm hinting at with this. But there's this character, and I guess he's like the antagonist of the story. And he just, like, I feel like the main character portrayed him in a way where I'm supposed to hate him. And they succeeded really well in that. Like, I absolutely hated that character. But I think I hated him too much to where I just felt uncomfortable whenever he, like, had a panel. And maybe that was what the mangaka was trying to do. And if that was the goal, then they definitely, like, succeeded in that. I won't deny that. But, and let me just show y'all the character I'm talking about. This dude right here, dude. This guy right here. Here's, like, a better picture. I just hated this character so much. And just, I don't know. Normally, I like dark topics. Like, if you look at some of the BL I have right here, like, I enjoy darker topics. But, dude, it was just not my speed. Like, I'm gonna just show y'all this page. Just, y'all could read this on your own. I just felt filthy when I read this. Like, I just felt filthy. You know what I'm saying? And when I finished the book and I put it down, I just had to, like, you know, I just felt awful. And honestly, like, I don't think I've ever really felt that way reading a series until that volume 6. Also, little side note, let me see if I can find it. So this book, A Home Far Away, there was a manga that recently came out by the same mangaka, I believe, called A Yakuza's Bias, I think. I'll put a picture up on screen just in case you don't know what I'm talking about. Haven't read it. I just wanted to know if anyone else has read it and how you feel about it. Just kind of comment down how you felt about it. The cover looks cool. Back of the book seemed fun, but I just kind of wanted someone's opinion on it. So, like I said, it's by the same mangaka, Teki Yatura. So, if you have read it, just comment down how you felt about Yakuza's Bias. I'm kind of a little curious, but moving on to the last thing that we have here. And this was honestly the best read, unsurprisingly. and that is Blood on the Tracks. I did go ahead and catch up or finish the first arc of it. So I read volumes 8, volume 9, 10, 11, and volume 12. So honestly, like I said, this was 100% my favorite read, and I'm glad that I waited to let the volumes stack up because, dude, it was hitting. It was hitting, and I'm honestly contemplating like going ahead and starting volume 13. I'm even thinking about like reading it online because it was just that enjoyable. Like, I love Shuzo Oshimi. For those of y'all who don't know, Shuzo Oshimi is my favorite mangaka. And dude, I feel like I haven't read an Oshimi manga in a while. And so reading this one just made me appreciate Oshimi so much more. Especially like, dude, the way the story was just going around and around and around. And the mom is such a well-written character, as well as just Seiichi. I know it's Seiichi, and his mom's also starts with Sei, so I kind of forget who's who. But the son, the main character, we'll call him Seiichi. The way that he's just portrayed, like, especially in this volume 11, sorry for spoilers if you haven't read it, but the way that his brain is like portrayed, and the way he views his mom, the way he views himself, and just everything was just so beautifully done. And you could literally feel it. Honestly, there was a very specific scene that I hope that I could find. I was trying to take a picture of it, and I was supposed to when I was doing it, like going through this, but there was a scene where he just took a deep breath and just sighed. And like, dude, that page was beautiful. Like, I don't know what was, something about it was just so special, and I really hope I could find it. And then, man, there's just so much. I know I'm not really expressing like thoughts very coherently, so to say, but I hope you're able to understand what I'm trying to say for the most part, because his mom is just awful. Like, once again, spoilers, this is stuff from volume 12. Dude, let me see. I'm gonna just show like just this one page for y'all. Just this one page for y'all. And like I said, the mom, and honestly, every character in here is just so well written. Of course, there are like parts that are extremely bizarre and feel a little bit like too much, but nonetheless, dude, I think honestly Oshimi might have peaked with this one. Honestly, I think Oshimi might have peaked with this one. But I will say one thing, and I'm not sure exactly how I feel about the series going on beyond, 12 volumes, because most of Oshimi's other works tend to be like a lot shorter. And for this one to be going, well, one arc finishing at volume 12 is really unlike Oshimi at all. I think the other longest work he might have is, I know Happiness is 10 volumes. I think Inside Mari might be 11 volumes. So I think those are probably like the longest ones. But even then, I'm really surprised that this one is going on for as long as it is. But if the story continues to be good, then it is what it is. I'm not gonna complain. Definitely not gonna complain. Just hoping that the story manages to stay good and just stand the test of time. And oh gosh, there was this scene right here. Like I said, I know I'm not really putting out like super coherent thoughts, but this scene with Seiichi and the girl, I forgot her name, just like trying to get over their parents, and man, it's beautiful to look back on it. Honestly, I'm still really trying to find that scene where he's like sighing, but unfortunately it looks like I'm just not gonna be able to find it. And that's all right. But that's pretty much it for the video. Thank you all so much for watching. Let's give a quick shout out to our channel members. Thank you guys so much for supporting the channel. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you all so much from the bottom of my heart. You guys make my day every time. And once again, For the channel members or anyone interested in becoming a channel member, you do get to recommend me one manga per month, and I have to go buy it and pick it up and read it all in that same month. Or another thing I'm doing now is that you could either just recommend me something that's in my collection to read. For example, you might be like, hey, you haven't read, the newest volume of Call the Night. Can you read it? I want to hear your thoughts on it. Things like that. Just to kind of help me like get through my collection instead of just like buying everything. So whichever one works for you. Once again, thank you all to the channel members so much. I really do appreciate. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the video. Once again, be sure to follow me on Instagram at SimonSabroYT. Link for that will always be down in the description. Also, be sure to leave a like, subscribe, hit that bell so you never miss an upload, all of that good stuff. Also, I do have a gaming channel. If you're interested, I have been playing Final Fantasy 16 recently. It's amazing, of course. Once again, comment down anything you've been reading recently. How'd you feel about the stuff I read? Anything like that whatsoever. But that's all for me. This is Simon Sabro signing out. I catch you on the next one.